Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters John Vias and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. The committee tasked with replacing Fox Hill Elementary School has abandoned a plan to ask for a townwide referendum after learning that the non-binding votes can only take place alongside town elections, which means that there isn't time to hold one until after they have to submit their plans to the state. The building committee voted earlier this month to ask the select board to turn to the public to help them decide between two remaining plans for the school. Rebuild it as a school for about 325 students, or combine it with the Pine Glen Elementary School as a larger 640 student building. In the absence of a vote on the issue, the Elementary School Building Committee is planning a community meeting to hear what the public thinks. The meeting is scheduled for September 18th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. More information on that as we get closer. Meanwhile, the committee members are honing in on their own preferred design for the elementary school. Out of 8 original options, the committee has eliminated all but 2, and they're now filling out the criteria matrices on how they feel the remaining options rank on cost, educational program, equity with other schools, and other issues. And they're learning more about the future of school could look like. In an elementary school building committee meeting this week, design firm principal Donna Denisco shared renderings of some classrooms, showing how classrooms could be integrated with project space and areas for special education services. The new designs would be a big improvement for Fox Hill, which was built using an outdated snowflake model. But building any new school will require the approval of 2/3 of town meeting, and if the cost would increase residential taxes by more than 2.5%, a majority of registered voters would be necessary, either in a Proposition 2.5 override or a debt exclusion override. The new elementary school could add anywhere from $260 to $360 to the median taxpayer's annual bill. But that's small potatoes compared to the cost of a new high school, which the district has been hoping for more than a decade. Preliminary numbers suggest that could add as much as $1,300 to the median tax bill for the life of the loan, which could be 20 years. It's a burden that's weighing on Melissa Massardo, the chair of the committee tasked with replacing Fox Hill.
We've said that we want to do something at this high school for 10, 12 years. And then we heard of a sale of 25% off elementary schools, and we let ourselves get distracted. I think, yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's going to be a debt exclusion. MSBA is going to help, but we're not suddenly going to be able to afford $300 million because MSBA is giving us 25, 30% of that. We need to pay for it. It's going to be expensive. And I'm getting started to worry that the elementary school projects are putting this in jeopardy. If we are spending $100 million on a school for 300 students, that's definitely going to delay the high school.
Burlington has been requesting aid from the state to rebuild a high school for more than a decade, and it has been turned down each year. In recent months, the school committee has decided to begin the process of rebuilding this high school without the state support and has received $1.5 million from town meeting to conduct a feasibility study. School Committee Chair Martha Simon cited a 2017 facilities report showing the high school was the highest priority for repair.
On page 221, it states very clearly that the next priority is BHS. We can change our minds about that, but since 2017, it's been pretty clear to me that that should be our next priority, and I have felt that. And that's why we kept applying for MSBA money for the high school. I don't want to scare people, but maybe it's time to scare people. I don't know. There's no sprinkler system at the high school. So even though there may be less than 900 students here, we have almost 900 students and all of our staff here, and we have no sprinkler system here.
Simon said asbestos and poor ADA compliance were other reasons to prioritize the high school, but school committee member Christine Monaco argued the high school wasn't so urgent as all that.
So I'm more inclined to wait until we have the high school building committee up and running, and we have an OPM, and we get some detail And we keep working with SBA, I think, on both, on all three projects. I think we need to work with SBA. They're in it to help communities do what needs to be done. And the truth is, we're not desperate, and our boilers aren't going to blow up.
One of the primary concerns at the high school has been the boilers, but the school committee has never offered an appropriation to replace them. Balancing the projects the town undertakes will ultimately fall to Town Administrator Paul Sagarino and Town Meeting, who joined us this week for his monthly Town Administrator report. Sagarino said these financial considerations are an extra burden due to inflation.
Up until about 4 years ago, I'd say that we would be right on target to do these projects, sort of in line as to what they were, but the price escalations that have occurred since the beginning of the pandemic have just added a real new layer of complexity. I mean, I would say about 4 years ago, I think Woburn did an elementary school for about $32 million, and now we're talking about $100 million. So it's just game-changing numbers that have really caused us to put a lot of thought into how we proceed.
In other school news, the district has re-upped its contract with Whitson's Culinary Group. Burlington schools began contracting with the food service provider in the middle of last school year, and despite some early frustration from cafeteria workers, the contractor won the approval of students with a broader menu and better quality food. Whitson also met its commitment to return some revenue to the district, sending back about $86,000. But when the state changed its requirement for districts working with food service providers, Burlington had to quickly reissue a request for proposals in order to sign with the contractor by the start of the school year. Whitson's was the only company to submit a bid for the contract. It promised to return even more funds this school year. The Burlington Select Board and the local housing authority have appointed retired firefighter Walter DeCoste to a temporary seat on the housing authority. Here's DeCoste explaining his interest in the position.
I've lived in Burlington since 1948. I spent as a teenager on DPW part-time, and I became a firefighter for the town for 30 years. I have worked with Jane Chu, Amy Warhol on the elections of I believe that I have some extra time now. I can get involved with the housing authority just as a beginning. Like I say, I've lived in town now since 1948. I still live in the same property that my grandfather owned. And being a senior citizen, I have an idea of what the needs are for other senior citizens.
DeCoste won over two other candidates, Burlington resident Michael Kelly and the executive director of the Arlington Housing Authority, John Jack Nagel. DeCoste was appointed to fill the seat until the next election, which is scheduled for April 2024. The Burlington Police Department is beginning to phase in a new design on its police cruisers. The department will begin with 3 cruisers at first and will phase in the new designs over the coming years as funds permit. The new design is monochromatic, all black with gray decals. The department and the select board agreed the new design would draw less attention to police cars, making traffic enforcement easier. Visitors to Burlington's Town Common may soon notice a new picnic table. It was approved by the select board this week in honor of Don Flaherty, a beloved member of the community who passed away in March of last year. Don was also the father of BCAT's own Chris Flaherty, who represents the Flaherty family at the select board this week. Board member Jim Tiggis spoke to Chris about his vote in favor of the table.
After knowing your father for so many years, I can't think of a more deserving person to have a picnic bench on the town common for. Don loved this town, and this town loved your dad. And this is a great way to memorialize him in Burlington. And I'm hoping your family is going to have some family picnics at that table and hang out with your dad's spirit.
With news of groups of migrants and refugees housed in hotels in nearby communities, Temple Shalom Emeth Rabbi Susan Abramson has leapt into action, assembling donations to meet the need. Sydney Bowles spoke with her about it.
Burlington Rabbi Susan Abramson is loading her car with diapers donated by members of the community to support dozens of Haitian migrants housed in local hotels.
There were 15 families who were placed by the state suddenly in a hotel in Billerica without any warning at all, and then the Billerica clergy found out about it, and they are working with the Billerica food pantry to give them everything that they need and to sign them up for all the programs they need. So the clergy are really helping to collect all the basic human needs that these people need, because they came with absolutely nothing. You'll see my poor loading skill. It's a very young population. Most of the people are 35 years old or younger. There are tons of kids, babies of all ages, toddlers. So they need a lot of baby stuff, toddler stuff, and thus all the diapers and wipes and toys. Everybody I know in the Jewish community has a family who migrated from someplace in Europe, ran from the Holocaust, other places. So we know what it's like to be in a new place with absolutely nothing and to flee persecution. So that's why we as Jews have a particular passion for it, and I in particular do as well.
Now she's working with Joyce Delianis of the group Help Us, as well as clergy and volunteers in other towns, to coordinate who needs what and where. And she's not alone. The food pantry, People Helping People, has been delivering meals to migrants housed in a Burlington hotel for months.
Everybody has been hearing about the disaster of being overrun by migrants fleeing persecution. We've all been hearing about it for many years now, and usually it's been along the Texas border or in Florida, but now that people are coming here, I think people really feel like this is their opportunity to personally help, as opposed to just witnessing the horrors from a distance. And so I think a lot of people, not just the Jewish community, feels called to be able to finally personally be able to make a difference in somebody's life.
Those looking to help can donate to Rabbi Abramson's Venmo, Susan-Abramson-9. For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
Burlington High School has a new marching band director who's ready to strike up the band this new school year. BNews reporter John Vias has more.
Burlington High School's award-winning marching band never fails to put on a spectacular performance. Whether it be traveling across the country or on our very own varsity field at halftime, former assistant marching band director Fadine Satirial is ready to kick off her first school year as the new lead marching band director.
Thrilled. I've been in marching bands since high school. I've been playing instruments since I was in 3rd and 4th grade. My son actually became a member of the marching band when he was in high school back in 2000, I think it was 11. And I got involved with the boosters, and it was so great because I always loved marching band. I was able to be part of it. And I've been the assistant marching band director for the past 11 seasons. With Mr. B having taken another position, I applied for the marching band so it can stay and continue going on the same way we had set it up in the beginning.
Every year, the marching band creates a specific theme to fit the music they choose to play for the BHS crowd. The song they choose is meant to match the theme as well as wardrobe. This year's theme is Time After Time, based on the hit song by Cyndi Lauper.
And there are 3 pieces that have to do with clocks or time, and yes, the 80s popular music of Cyndi Lauper is our ballad, the second piece. Mr. B had actually come up with the songs and the pieces that they wanted to play, as well as the title. And then when he told me about it, I came up with the theme and worked with the staff, working together to create a Time After Time, which is going to be a Victorian steampunk theme.
Work hard, play hard. A motto created by BHS students many years ago is what Fadine embraces when entering her new position as marching band director.
And it's also a mission statement of community, family, and having a place that is encouraging and supportive in order to grow and to be yourself. It's a real family atmosphere, and that's something I really want to continue and I've always enjoyed having as part of the marching band.
We at BNews wish Fadine the best of luck as she enters a brand new chapter in her musical career. And stay tuned for a preview of this year's BHS Marching Band show, coming soon to BCAT's education channel. From Burlington High School, this is John Vias for BNews.
Congratulations, Fadine. The Scouts recently held a recruitment event with plenty to offer, including everyone's favorite bonfire treat. Robert Paris has the story.
There's s'more where that came from, with many children and their parents enjoying the delectable treat up at Simons Park during a recruitment night for the girls and Cub Scouts.
National S'mores Day officially, I believe, is August 10th. We couldn't really figure everybody's schedule out, so we decided to celebrate it a little bit late, but hey, the beauty of s'mores, they're good any time of year. S'mores is a wonderful Girl Scout tradition. We decided to tie in recruitment because everybody's getting ready for back to school. Come make some s'mores, do some crafts, play some games, and learn more about scouting. We do have Cub Scout Pack 105 here, Cub Scout Pack 555, and all the Girl Scouts here. Depending on what your interest level is, we have something for everybody.
Students in kindergarten through 5th grade are eligible for the Scout Packs, and it's a fun and educational way to learn about the community and the world around them.
Well, both Girl Scouts and Cub Scouts, Scouting BSA, are all volunteer run. It's a great program for the kids because the kids get to learn a lot of skills that the schools just don't have the bandwidth for. It's a really great opportunity for parents to get involved, learn more about their kids, learn more about their kids' friends, and actually see their kids develop these amazing skills that will last them a lifetime.
From Simons Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
It takes all kinds of people and all kinds of jobs to make a town like Burlington run smoothly. And every once in a while, we'd like to introduce you to town employees who are doing important work behind the scenes. This week, BNews producer Sydney Bowles introduces us to Sergeant Joe Papsadero and his K-9, Remy.
In our quest to bring you the stories of town employees you might not hear from all that often, we're introducing you to Burlington Police Department K-9 officer Sergeant Joe Papsadero and his partner, Remy.
Believe it or not, they're classified as equipment. So the department owns him, the town owns him. He's not my dog, but he is my partner. We're a team. We do everything together.
Tell her how cute you are.
Remy is a dual-purpose dog. All my dogs have been dual-purpose dogs. They're all patrol-trained, so any type of searching, whether it's for a bad guy or a missing person, suicidal people, children, elderly people. He's also used to locate evidence that may be discarded, search buildings, in areas much more efficiently and quicker than, a bunch of us can.
Remy is Sergeant Papsadero's fourth K-9 partner. Havoc, who was his partner for 10 years, retired with the gratitude of the entire community in 2020.
He's still alive. He's right now he's probably upside down on the couch watching Jerry Springer. No, he's 14 years old now. He's doing very well. Lots.
All these years into the work, Papsadero still finds himself amazed by what the dogs can do.
Had a screwdriver in the front yard one day that was used in a house break, and we were on our way back after tracking the suspect, and Havoc, I had him on a loose line, and he went over and downed in this front yard. I'm like, what are you doing? Walked over, and there's a screwdriver stuck into the grass, and the suspect had observed the cruiser coming at him and tried to get rid of his tool, and we were able to eventually match. Well, I wasn't, but the detectives were able to match the blade of the screwdriver with the indentations in the wood on the frame of the window of the house that was broken into. They're just tremendous search tools.
As for Remy,
he's a very young three-year-old shepherd, but he's a lot of fun. He really is.
Papsadero trains Remy with the toy. When Remy finds the hidden gun or accomplishes the task, he gets to play.
All the rewards, it's either the toy, the tug like this. For basic obedience, I'll use food because it keeps them a little bit lower in drive.
Papsadero's cruiser is specifically outfitted to help Remy do his best work.
This Tahoe, this cruiser, is pretty much outfitted specifically for the duties of a K-9 team. The cage in the middle is crush resistant. There is a heat alarm and what we call a door popper. I have it set at 90 degrees, so if it hits 90 degrees on the inside of this vehicle, the windows go down. There is a 12-inch fan in the left rear window that kicks on high speed. There's a little button that I wear on my uniform that I can press in the right rear door so that he's not jumping out into traffic. The right rear door pops open, and the way we train it is he comes to find me. Yeah, he thinks he's funny.
And now you know who works for Burlington.
All right, cook it. Knock it off.
Let's check in with the weather. Weatherman Peter Brown says we can expect more clouds and rain this week as we head towards fall. And stay tuned after the weather for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown. Look at your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the tail end of August. Actually, next Thursday, if you can believe it or not, is the last day of meteorological summer. I know, hard to believe that we're almost at the end of summer. Hasn't been that much of a summer really here in the Burlington area. It's been very cloudy, very wet around here, and unfortunately, this last week of August is going to be no different really than what we've been seeing for most of the summer, unfortunately. Starting out our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year still in the mid-80s, and we're going to be a good 10 degrees cooler than that as we have a cool east wind coming off of the water with temperatures staying right around 70, maybe trying to get up into the lower 70s around here, but it's going to be a struggle. Then as we round up the period getting in towards next Thursday again, average highs at this time of the year should be in the low to mid 80s, and I think we're going to end up probably right around average by the time we get to the end of the week, so that's something to look forward to. And of course now you notice our sunrises are now happening after 6 in the morning, so we're not going to have any of those extremely early sunrises until we get to next spring again. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation. Looking at our temperature map again, nothing new, par for the course for this summer. We're expecting a good chance of below average temperatures here in the Northeast, and especially here in New England and the Burlington area. And looking at our precipitation chances again, nothing new here. Looks like we're going to have a chance of above average precipitation. So par for the course. Looks like the summer conditions that we've been seeing for most of the past 3 months are going to be continuing in as we head towards September. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, really what you see is what you get here. We are going to have that chance of spotty showers almost every single day during the period. It doesn't look like that sun's going to really come out in earnest until we get towards the end of next week. Chance of showers, again, spotty showers each and every day. Kind of cool out there with that wind coming in from the east off of the ocean. Temperatures pretty much staying in the low to mid 70s all throughout our period, and finally boosting up into the lower 80s as we get into next Thursday. Hopefully we're going to get more of a southwesterly component to the wind and kind of push some of that cool, damp air back out over the ocean. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, I'm Amy Poehler, and you're watching BCAT. Go Red Devils!
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. The Burlington Fire Department is accepting applications through August 29th for the 2023 Municipal Firefighter Examination. Anyone interested should sign up by emailing the Burlington firefighters at fire@burlington.org. On August 30th from 5:30 to 7 p.m., the Burlington Presbyterian Church will be having a free community dinner. Everyone is welcome to attend the event. Beginning on Thursday, starting September 7th from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m., the town of Burlington will be having their community beer garden at Moran Road at 202 Cambridge Street. For more information, go to burlington.org. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
And as we begin to wrap up this week, we have one small request for you. BCAT is redesigning our daily print and video newsletter to be more responsive to your needs. If you don't subscribe, you can do so at bcattv.org. And if you are a subscriber, we want to know your thoughts. Go to bcattv.org/survey to tell us what you like, what you don't like, and what we could do better. We would appreciate it. And as we do every week, we're coming to a close with a photo sent in by a member of the community. This week's picture comes from Mary Leach, who says this is floating flowers on an August afternoon. Thanks as always, Mary. And if you have a photo you want to send it, email it to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line, the photo of the week. Okay, and that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher. Thank you for joining us.